Get you caught up on what's going to happen for the rest of the weekend. We've got the Sprint Cup Series with practice tomorrow from Pocono at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, and happy hour tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. also on ESPN2. And you're saying, what about the race? Well, it's presented by Old Spice. You'll see it Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern over on ESPN. How about the NASCAR Nationwide Series? We've got qualifying tomorrow at 1 Eastern here on ESPN2. And then our race over on ESPN at 4 Eastern, presented by GoDaddy.com. And NASCAR Now, presented by 5 Hour Energy. That'll be Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Get you ready for a big Sunday of racing. That, too, on ESPN2. Now let's talk a little bit about the Nationwide Insurance Dash for Cash. There are 4 standalone races where Nationwide has put up $25,000 per race, and it rolls over. Well, guess what? Joey Logano, who is not eligible because he's not a full-time Nationwide driver, and he's part of the Sprint Cup Series, he won the first 2 races. So now, if you won this race, and there's only one guy that can keep this from happening, if you win this race, you get $60,000 for first place plus contingencies, $75,000 for the Dash for Cash, for $135 grand. Plus, there's another $50,000 with the driver accumulating the most points in those 4 races, waiting to be awarded at Memphis. That's the last of the 4 stops. And the only guy who can spoil this is
Kevin Harvick.
That's right.
So if Kevin Harvick does not win this race, this award will be won today or tomorrow at Iowa, and that's going to be a big payday for somebody, guys.
So probably be the largest in a Nationwide Series.
The 33 car is going to have a big bullseye. All right, we're looking at a lot of tape on the front of that car, Jack. What's going on?
Well, guys, take a look at your watch. It's going to tell you that time is running out in this final practice session. So more and more cars are going to do what we call a mock qualifying run. What do you do? Well, the first thing you want to do is you make sure you got a set of sticker Goodyears. Then, Rusty, as you know, you want to tape up the grill just as much as the car can stand. But after all that practice, you want to make sure that your water temperatures are good, right? So they have created a great new system that drivers and teams have been using for a number of years to actually evacuate all the water out of the car, replace it with cool water. So now they can go in with it all stopped up once they know that the block and the water temperature is down, and they're going to go for a mock qual run. That's what Brendan Gaughan, that's what Kevin Harvick's car, that's what a lot of these guys in the garage here are, as they say down south, getting ready to do.
Well, that's a good point, Jack. That's a great explanation of how that water works, that's for sure. They got about 20 minutes left to go in this final practice. Now let's talk about Cale Gale for 1 second. This particular car is going to have to start tailback no matter what happens, because Kevin Harvick is going to miss qualifying because he's in Pocono. Cale has got to be very conservative on his qualifying run. If he goes out there and tears his car up accidentally, I mean, it's going to be a trouble for Kevin Harvick.
Why would he even, that's something, why would he even go there? We've seen guys last week for the Cup guys didn't even get the stickers off the tires. Why would you even tempt to go out there? I mean, yes, it's great. As a race car driver, put me in, I want to make a lap. But
that's
for company-wise, why would you want to do that?
Well, I'll tell you the reason why. One problem they're going to have is that nobody really knows where they need to be on this brand new pit road here at Iowa. He wants to qualify good enough that he's got an option to choose where he wants to on pit road, because how you qualify is how you draw where you get to pit.
Well, let me ask you. You designed this place. What do you think is the best pit spot to have, since that seems to be what this issue might be about?
This pit road, Marty, reminds me a lot of Phoenix, Arizona, and most guys like going to the very end. Well, this particular pit road you see right there has got a curved exit of pit road. I personally like to be down in spot number 1, or right where Brendan Gaughan just came out of this opening right there. Those are the 2 top pit spots at this racetrack. I really think that that one right there you're looking at is the best one, though.
You know, I'm not sure if the spotter's as important as good as a fast pit crew. I mean, if you're in a spot and you got a fast pit crew, you're going to get in and out of pit road.
That is Brad Coleman on screen right now. He has been bumped down to the 4th fastest on the speed charts. His best lap is still 23.7 at 132.9 miles an hour.
I tell you, this fellow's driving with a lot of pressure on his shoulders too, guys, and we've seen some crashes out of him and some mistakes made, but overall, he's a pretty good shoot. But he's got a car that he's driving that wins, it seems like, all the time. And he knows the car's fast. He knows it's quick. And he knows that he's got to get it done because they're really looking at him because of how good this car is.
Well, another guy that may have a big day here is Jason Leffler. Let's check in on him. Rick DeBrule, you've caught up with him?
Well, indeed, standing by. He's already climbed out of the car, and at this point, that's a good sign. That means you're comfortable with the setup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had plenty of practice with the test day yesterday, and we did a tire test here. back in early May. So great clips. Camry's really good. Looking forward to the race tomorrow. You guys did a really nice job at this facility, and coming to the Midwest to race is awesome. There's so many race fans around here, so looking forward to tomorrow night for sure.
You got 58,000 of them going to be rooting for you tomorrow. Jason Leffler out of the car. Marty?
And as you finished up, he got bumped down one spot to 8th by Brendan Gaughan. Gaughan goes to the number 5 spot on the speed charts as you look at Cale Gale, who's moved into the 14th position.
And you know, Kevin and Delano back there at Pocono saying, okay, just be smooth. I want to drive that car tomorrow. I got a pretty nice backup probably, but I don't want to use it.
No, he can't do anything stupid tomorrow. That's for sure in qualifying. Just needs to take it nice and easy. You know, getting a great pit road selection is a big deal, but it's not that big.
Well, the mock run pays some dividends if they're looking for that pit selection spot, because he just ran 6th fastest time here, 23.73 seconds, 132.7 miles an hour. So they got the answer that they wanted. Will it pay off tomorrow at qualifying? You'll see it here on the ESPN2. Stay with us. Our final practice continues here at the Iowa Speedway.
Sal Masekela coming here from the City of Angels on day 2 of X Games 15, and that means he's back. Travis Pastrana making his triumphant return to the scene of the crime in Moto X, where he changed the game with the double backflip, which means what will he do tonight? How about that? Plus, Mega Ramp is going next level with the debut of the Big Air Rail Jam. Danny Way and the boys, it is on tonight. X Games 15 coverage starting tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Man, those dudes are crazy. Look, I got to tell you, man, I would not get out of an electric chair to do that. You see that? A double backflip?
Well, yes, and I think he's insane also. But how about Ricky Carmichael running the Camping World Truck Series? Has 2 medals, including last night. He tied for gold. They share it on step up. And boy, you know, they got more courage than I do. That's for sure.
Randy, you're a little crazy back when you drove. I bet you could do that, man.
Nope, not even close. I need 4 wheels and a cage.
What a deal.
Well, we're running low on time here. We have about 12, 13 minutes remaining here in this final practice session. Take a gander at the 27 now.
Looking pretty good out there. The nose kind of low in the ground. He's got a good handle on the car. 23.76 moves him up the 9th quick so far in the practice session we're having here. But like you said, Marty, about 12, 13 minutes left to go. These guys were on track all day yesterday. They've had 2 sessions today. It's time to get it on right now, because the next thing that's going to happen tomorrow is going to be qualifying, and they got to be right.
Well, guys, Rick DeBrule has caught up with Jason Radcliffe, and you were maybe right on target about the pit selection. Let's find out. Rick, what's going on?
Well, indeed, the whole question was, are they going to do a serious qualifying run tomorrow? And Jason Radcliffe, you say the answer is yes.
Yeah, we're going to do we brought Jeremy Clements with us this week to practice a car and qualify it while Kyle's in Pocono. And this isn't the first time that Jeremy's worked with us. He does a nice job for us, great race car driver. And we had a good day today. We went through some changes. Feel like we learned some things. Pizza Ranch Toyotas should be pretty good for tomorrow, and we made a couple qualifying runs in this session just to get him familiar with how the car is going to feel in qualifying trim. We went out the first time a little too tight. Second time, we made it a lot better for him. And so I think we'll be in good shape.
All right, now you take a risk in running that qualifying run. It must be because you want the pit selection.
Yeah, I mean, this pit road's pretty wide, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of good pit stalls. But, you know, like we talked about earlier, I want to be the one to determine where we pit, not be forced to pit because we had a bad qualifying run. So Jeremy will be conservative, but at the same time, he's a smart driver. He can go out there and get us a good lap and be cautiously aggressive, I guess you say.
All right, Jason Radcliffe trying to control what he can for his driver.
So kudos to you, Mr. Wallace, for figuring it out first of everybody. That we were wondering why Cale Gale will go out, and that's exactly what it ends up being. They want to focus in on that pit selection since this is the first time they've been here at Iowa Speedway.
Well, guys, I wasn't real smart. It's the only thing I could think of, to tell you the truth.
We just seen the 32 car.
You thought of it faster than the 2 of us.
That's right. Brian Eichler, he got in the wall yesterday during practice, and those guys had to put about a whole right side in that thing. They did a lot. From far away, she's a purty car. And from close up, she's a little rough.
A little rough. Kenny Wallace looking pretty good out there. He is really excited about his opportunity at this particular track, guys.
He looked really good last night at your roast. He brought out a bunch of wigs for everybody to wear from your old 70s hairdo days, and it was hilarious. And folks, tune in to Countdown on tomorrow, because I think we're going to be able to show you the pictures of what actually that looked like. That's going to be fun.
He did that, and I wanted to grab him by the throat and strangle him. I said, "You're embarrassing me, man."
Is that the first time he ever embarrassed you?
We had a roast last night. We raised $264,000 for the NASCAR Foundation. It was fantastic. A lot of people donate a lot of money, but Kenny was one of the roasters, along with you, Marty Reed. And
I'm sitting between you guys. Is that why they did that?
He put it on me last night. It was funny. Mike Helton and Robert Pemberton.
Yeah, there he is. That's Kenny last night. And there's Big Brother, and he's wondering what's going to happen, and here it is. And this is priceless.
Oh, man, look at you guys.
Now that was your team back in the old ASA days, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had big hair back then, you know. NASCAR president Mike Helton said, I used to work at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he said, I saw Rusty take that helmet off one time. That hair popped out, scared me to death.
Hey, I got to tell you something, Dad. Your son just moved to number 2 on the speed charts, 23.47 seconds, 134.19 miles an hour, right behind Stephen Light.
How much confidence, Rusty? You talked to him this week. He did a wonderful job last week. The crew did a great job. He had a couple bad pit stops, but Stephen had a fast race car, kept it all in one piece. Could have unplugged himself early in the event when they got thrown to the back a little bit. Did you tell me he did a good job?
Well, I tell you, he is really coming along right now, Randy. He really is. I mean, at the end of this year, it'll be his 3rd year Nationwide Series. It's really clicking right now. Getting a lot of good comments from big cup owners about how good a job he's doing. I'm proud of him right now. I really am, because he's went through heck. He really has, but he's getting strong now. And this new crew chief we got, Trip Bruce, has really helped this kid.
Confidence.
Stephen Light, we mentioned his number 1. Rick DeBrule has caught up with him. Rick?
Indeed, you have the car that is fastest in the second session, but here's the question. Is that the setup that will get you the pole tomorrow?
I hope so. I've never had a pole. I think my best starting position is 3rd or 5th or something like that. But this Holiday Inn team's done such a great job all week. We've really worked hard since we've been here, and we tried some things yesterday and learned a lot. We knew we were too tight when we started the day off today, and sure enough, when we started practice, it was too tight again. We really worked on freeing it up from the center out. The car has been good on entry the whole time we've been here, and we can't get, for some reason, can't get it to turn off the corner. The very last couple runs we made, the car seemed to be the best it is. But the crazy part is we're running that 40, and it still feels like it could be faster. So I don't know what the pole's going to be, but if the track's cooler tomorrow, it'll probably be a little quicker than that.
All right, Stephen Light, number 1 right now, hopes it can hold on tomorrow.
Well, his best nationwide start is back in 2006 at Texas, where he started 3rd, so he would be looking for his first pole on series action. There are the speeds right now in the top 5 here as the final practice is under 7 minutes remaining at the Iowa Speedway.
And Stephen Wallace had a little cosmetic damage and shows you just how tough you've got to be on the edge at all time. Mock qualifying effort for you, Stephen. Got you 2nd quickest. What about the race car, this U.S. Fidelis Chevrolet?
I feel like our U.S. Fidelis Chevrolet was pretty good in race trim. We had 82 lap tires on it, and we're able to run some O's and 90s with that. So I felt like that was really strong. Focused a lot on race trim. So I feel like we got our car driving really well, and then we taped up and did a bonsai run, and we ran a 52. Was a little too loose right there, so I feel like we get her tightened up and probably get a little faster. So I feel like we got a good shot at really running good tomorrow. We got the nationwide dash for cash, pay $75,000 to win tomorrow, so it's maybe a little extra incentive.
Think Dad will let you keep that $75K if you win it?
I don't what Kerry does. I'm going to take it from him.
There you go. Hey, you're forewarned, Wallace.
Well, I hear you there. He's driving hard. Got a little close to that wall, put a couple scratches, and I'll tell you, this kid lays it up there. I mean, he's not scared of that fence and putting it real tight up against her. I wish he'd give it just a little more breathing room, though. You know, it makes me nervous when he scratches that car up like that.
Justin Allgaier's not anywhere close to the wall right now. He has 19th on the speed charts. He was quickest in the morning practice. He laid the fast lap down on his last of 44 laps in the morning session, and we are down now to just under 3 minutes remaining. So if he's on a mock run, we should get some results here soon.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Verizon Dodge has been real fast. He was P1 in practice this morning, and he is not blocked up doing a qualifying run yet. Randy, you can see that the grill's on tape right there. He's not doing that right now. He might have done one this morning that said, I'm happy with it. Use the rest of the time now on practice.
I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, you're only allowed 6 sets of tires. So a lot of these guys really played a tire management game a whole lot different. Some of them use 2 sets in the morning, some of them use in the afternoon. So it all depends on what tires he's on.
Well, you heard what Steven just said. They've been on the same set of tires the whole time, had 82 laps on those tires because they want to keep those fresh ones for the race tomorrow.
Well, and how about the guys like Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards in his car? I mean, they basically used 1 set today, so they have 5 fresh ones ready to go for the qualifying and race tomorrow.
Marty, I tell you, that makes me a little bit nervous what Brad Keselowski did. I mean, he's a really good driver and he got a great car, but man, every time I leave practice out there, and I don't practice these last sessions, these racetracks generally change a lot, and I hope that doesn't come up and bite Brad, but I do understand why they did it, to save tires.
Brad Coleman has been bumped down to the number 10 position. You saw the numbers as he now brings it back into pit lane, and he will stay 10th on the speed charts. Right now it is still Stephen Light, fastest here in this final hour of practice.
And you look at Stephen Light, Marty, with Austin Dillon both in the top 5. You know, RCR Busch cars have won 4 owners championships in the last 5 years. So those race teams are fast.
There's no doubt about that, and I will point out out of the top 5 speeds right now, 3 of them are Richard Childress engines in those cars. And RCR, I'll tell you what, guys, have been built some serious horsepower for this nationwide series.
There's Eric Darnell's numbers. He's currently 8th. Now just move him up to the number 4 spot with that last lap. 23.54 at 133.8 miles an hour.
You know, he does a wonderful job. He's won in the truck series, set some poles in the nationwide series. You know, this kid is going to be a talent for a long time.
So as we wind down, you're looking at the man who is top of the speed charts right now. That is Stephen Light. Eric Darnell, we can tell you, has just moved to number 2, right behind him, 23.42 seconds. So they're separated by all of 0.02 of a second. Well, there is so much more coming your way from Iowa. Nationwide Series qualifying tomorrow, 1 Eastern on ESPN2. And then our race presented by GoDaddy.com tomorrow at 4 Eastern on ESPN. And coming up next, it's NASCAR Now. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Marty Reed. Till we meet again.